UFC Mexico just exploded with drama, and we're breaking it all down now. David Martinez just secured another massive win and is climbing the ranks. But what about former title challenger Marlon Vera? He's on a tough streak after his latest fight, and we're asking what's next for Chito. And in the main event, Brandon Moreno fell short. Is the former champion's time at the top over? Plus, Machado Garry is calling out the pound-for-pound king, Islam Makhachev, teasing a potential title fight. You don't want to miss this. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell.
Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLune 3-pack screen protector plus 3-pack camera lens protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
David Martinez is officially on the fast track in the Bantamweight division. After another impressive victory at UFC Mexico, the young contender David Martinez has solidified his position and is making waves. Martinez, now 3-0 in the octagon, defeated former title challenger Marlon Chito Vera via unanimous decision, extending his impressive winning streak to 10 consecutive fights. Just a year ago, Martinez hadn't even made his UFC debut, and now he's knocking on the door of the top 10, set to be ranked 9th. Martinez showcased his speed and footwork, dominating the early rounds against Vera. While he slowed in the third, he demonstrated resilience to secure the win. His only career loss was a split decision, highlighting his consistent performance. The UFC is now looking at potential matchups for Martinez, with names like Deiveson Figueiredo or even a prospect like Peyton Talbot being discussed as his next challenge. Fans are buzzing about Martinez's rapid ascent, with many seeing him as a future contender. Analysts are pointing to his impressive skill set and undefeated UFC record as signs of a rising star. Don't go anywhere, because what happens when a fighter on a losing streak faces an opponent who is just too fast? We're diving deep into Marlon Vera's challenging night and what the future holds for Chito. Marlon Chito Vera is facing a critical juncture in his career after his latest UFC Mexico outing. The former bantamweight title challenger, Marlon Vera, has now lost 4 consecutive fights, a stark contrast to his dominant run from 2018 to 2022. Despite possessing undeniable talent and skill, Vera's consistent issue has been his slow start, which has repeatedly put him in difficult positions, especially in 3-round fights. In his recent bout against the surging David Martinez, Vera again found himself trailing after 2 rounds. While he showed flashes of his old self in the third, landing significant shots as Martinez tired, it wasn't enough to secure the victory. This decision loss marks a significant downturn for Vera, whose impressive wins over the likes of Sean O'Malley and Dominic Cruz now feel like a distant memory. His recent performances, including losses to Corey Sandhagen, Deiveson Figueiredo, and Ayman Zahabi, have raised questions about his place in the division. Despite the losing streak, the UFC is expected to give Vera another opportunity, likely against a hungry contender looking to break into the rankings. Names like Jacob Wicklax or even Raul Rosas Jr. are being discussed as potential next opponents. This isn't the only tough night for a former champion on the UFC Mexico card. We're analyzing what went wrong for Brandon Moreno and if his championship days are truly behind him. Is a super fight brewing? Machado Garry is making bold claims about a potential welterweight title clash with Islam Makhachev. Following his impressive victories over Carlos Prates and former champion Belal Muhammad, Machado Garry believes he's next in line for a shot at the UFC welterweight title. He recently took to social media to call out the reigning pound-for-pound king, Islam Makhachev, suggesting the champion is hesitant. Garry posted, "I'm ready. He needs more time. Imagine being the #1 pound-for-pound fighter on the planet and needing more time." Garry, with a UFC record of 10-1, only suffered a competitive loss on short notice to Shavkat Rakhmonov. His recent performances have positioned him as a top contender, and many fans have speculated a matchup between him and Makhachev would be a massive draw. Makhachev, who captured the welterweight title by defeating Leon Edwards, is currently awaiting his next challenger. Makhachev's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, has already responded to Garry's call-out on Twitter, adding fuel to the fire. The narrative is building for a potential showdown that could redefine the welterweight division. But before we look too far ahead, we need to address a stunning upset on the UFC Mexico main card. We're breaking down what happened to former flyweight champion Brandon Moreno and what his future looks like. Brandon Moreno's path back to flyweight glory has hit a significant roadblock. In the main event of UFC Mexico, former flyweight champion Brandon Moreno faced the unranked prospect Lone'er Kavanagh in a fight many expected him to win decisively. Originally slated to face Islam Makhachev, Kavanagh stepped in on short notice, but Moreno was still the betting favorite. Despite his championship experience and reputation, Moreno struggled to impose his will on the talented striker. While Moreno had moments of control, he failed to inflict significant damage, and the scorecards, though appearing close, reflected a clear decision victory for Kavanagh. This loss, following a TKO defeat to Tatsuro Terra and a less-than-impressive win over Steve Erceg, has led many to question if Moreno is still at the elite level of the flyweight division. At 32 years old, his recent performances suggest he may no longer be top 5 material, despite remaining a top 10 contender. The path forward for Moreno involves proving he can still compete at the highest level. A potential rematch with Islam Makhachev has been suggested, which would serve as a crucial test of his current standing in the division. That's a wrap on our UFC Mexico recap and a look at the big call-out in the welterweight division. But don't go anywhere. We've got a lightning round of all the top stories coming up next. What a night of fights and fight news. David Martinez is on fire, Marlon Vera is facing a tough streak, Brandon Moreno's future is uncertain, and Machado Garry is calling out the champ. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single update. Follow us on all social media platforms for more exclusive content. Let us know in the comments which fight or story you're most excited about. We'll see you in the next one.